Monday Night Raw last night. Oh man, oh man. The show was not what we all turned out for it to be. I mean, when you got people like Goldberg on the show gets worse. I mean, I don't even know what I got to say, man. Other than the fact that this show sucks. Nothing legitimately important on the show. There was no build on this show. No direction. There was nothing creative on this show. Nothing entertaining. On top of that, there was nothing even enjoyable on this show. Nothing enjoyable to watch. Nothing. Still the same old shit, same old BS every week. Rants and repeats. Still the same old fucking Vince and Bruce going with the same agendas every fucking week. It's basically still the same BS, folks. Nothing's ever going to change on these shows every week. As long as Vince McMahon is still in office and as long as Bruce is still executive director, well, we're never going to get the Raw that we all once saw years ago. We're never going to get the Raw that we want back because of these two. So we got Charlotte Flair winning by disqualification in her match against Shayna Baszler. And then we got Mandy Rose, Charlotte Flair versus Lacey Evans, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler. I don't know why we got this match twice. There was no need to get this match 2 times. This 50-50 booking stuff, man, this shit's getting fucking annoying as fuck. And then we got Xavier Woods with his victory over SlapJack. And we got Sheamus versus John Morrison. We got AJ Styles versus R-Truth. We got Riddle versus Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. We got all that to go over this morning, right here on my Ingram Wrestling News YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Ingram Wrestling News' very own Brennan Ingram here live with your Monday Night Raw review. This is your January the 25th, 2021 Monday Night Raw review. Yes, folks, yesterday was my birthday. It's my 22nd birthday. For my birthday, I got 12 months of PlayStation Plus, which I am definitely happy about. I won't have to worry about buying any more PlayStation Plus months anymore, thank God. I got 12 months of PlayStation Plus for a year. And of course I ate 2 things of cupcakes. And my mom cooked me some good dinner like she said. So I had a good time yesterday. I had a good day yesterday. It was solid, normal. Nothing to have me complain about. I mean, I couldn't complain. I had a good day. My birthday was important though, because for the simple fact that 22 feels the same way as being 21. I already have it figured out. So again, 22, folks, if you're turning 22 this year, those of you around the world that's turning 22, just know that 22 feels the exact same way as being 21. Seriously. It already feels that way for me. It feels good to be 22, but it's the same as being 21. I mean, how can I possibly get any more smarter than that? So, anyways, man, I had a good time for my birthday, man. I got 1 month of PlayStation Plus to do me until I got the actual present, which was 12 months PlayStation Plus. I'm happy. Now, folks, not only will you get to see more Call of Duty content on the channel now, you'll also get to see more Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 and Naruto Dominion Storm 4 and Gran Turismo Sports content on the channel. So be sure you have on those notifications so that way you won't miss all that content on my channel. That way you won't miss all my Ingram Wrestling News videos that I upload to YouTube. And speaking of Ingram Wrestling News videos, I got an Ingram Wrestling News video dropping this week on WWE's plans for Aleister Black, and I already got a thumbnail in mind for my video. It's probably going to be like a 5-6 minute video because I actually am going to tell you what I think WWE should do with Aleister Black for his return. I will tell y'all what I think WWE's plan should be for Aleister Black when he returns. My opinion, what I think should happen. It's going to be interesting, so be tuning in for that once that video drops this week. I got to get it made and done. I got some other Ingram Wrestling News videos dropping this week. You'll be notified on what those are going to be this week on Twitter. So follow 200 subscribers. Please, please, please hit that freaking subscribe button, man. Very important. And if you know that it's going to be, if you know that my Monday Night Raw review is going to be a good review, you know I'm going to try to make this review great. You know that. I do this for my Ingram Wrestling News viewers, subscribers, fans, and moderators. And I do this for the wrestling community as well. So, again, subscribe, turn on the bell for notifications. Hit that like button on this live stream. Follow me on Twitter at Ingram Wrestling. Follow me on Twitch at Ingram Wrestling News. We're going to go ahead and get to it. Folks, obviously, this show was bad. This week's Raw opens with the WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre, coming to the ring with sword in hand. McIntyre says it feels real good to be back on Raw after the last few weeks. He thanks the fans for the get well wishes, and it meant the world to him, basically. So, Drew says he got lucky with his COVID symptoms, and he was back training just a few days. And he wants to dedicate his match against Goldberg to the victims. You know, the victims who died of COVID-19? Yeah, those victims. Speaking of Goldberg, he can't take him lightly. He's been watching the man rise from nothing to the top of WCW, where he was unbeaten in nearly 200 matches. He beat Hulk Hogan for the World Heavyweight Championship. Then came to WWE and beat the likes of Triple H and The Rock. He might have disappeared for a long time, but the last thing a heavyweight loses is his power. So he knows he has to knock out power. But that isn't going to happen on Sunday. Drew says he's getting fired up and he wants to start tonight off right, which was last night, by the way. The Miz and John Morrison interrupt and slowly walk towards the ring. Miz compares Goldberg and Drew to Kong vs. Godzilla and say it would be a real shame if one of them got injured in that match and he cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase. Morrison announces Miz as the new WWE champion, but then Goldberg's music hits and he comes down to the ring. Goldberg stands in McIntyre's face and says, "You, me, Sunday. You're next." They stare at each other, but Miz and Morrison stand on the apron and start taunting them. So Drew and Goldberg pull them into the ring. Goldberg hits Miz with a spear. McIntyre takes out Morrison with a claymore, and they go back to a stare down. So it said that Asuka would be facing Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship, which that did happen. So we had Charlotte Flair battling Shayna Baszler. I don't know why. I don't even know why we got Alexa Bliss versus Asuka. I didn't understand that. Told you, folks. Same shit, rinse and repeats. 50-50 booking. Same stuff every week. This is why the WWE loses audience right here. Booking the same matches and the same stuff every day is how they lose audience. This is where the audience starts to disappear. Charlotte Flair is interviewed by Charlie Caruso backstage and asks how she feels about being pulled in so many directions. Charlotte says she rises to the occasion, and tonight she faces Shayna Baszler, who calls herself a queen, but it's another thing to be a queen. She's the women's tag team champion. She's in the Rumble, and her dad is making a fool of himself with Lacey Evans, but it's one thing to be with a Flair and another thing to wear the weight of the name. So we had a short Charlotte Flair versus Shayna Baszler match, which again, I don't know why. This did not legitimately make sense to me. And I guarantee it didn't make sense to any of you either. I'm pretty sure it did. So the match gets on the way and they lock up with Charlotte forcing Baszler to the corner and attacking her leg. Then Flair gets distracted and runs across the ring to baseball slide Nia. Baszler grabs Flair with the Karafuda clutch, but Flair shrugs her off and drops her with a big boot. Flair applies the figure four, but Nia runs in and breaks the hold. And that was basically it. So then, as soon as the match ends, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke run down and start brawling with the tag champs. Then out comes Lacey Evans to fight with Charlotte. and they head to commercial in mid-action. So they had the commercial break during the mid-action, and then we got Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose, and I mean, I assume that's who made this match official for Raw. Am I not right? I can't be possibly right. Same feud except for Charlotte Flair and Lacey Evans is added to this match. Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose are still feuding with Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, apparently. This feud is not going to end, I guess, until WWE wants it to. And by the way, let me know down the comment section below what y'all think of this Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, and Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax feud. This tag team feud right here. Let me know what y'all think of this. I want y'all's thoughts on this. I really do. I want to see y'all's thoughts in the chat on this. I'm really not into this feud, man. It's not legitimately important. Those women's tag team titles are not even important anymore. So bad that everybody in the IWC community are getting tired of seeing those women's tag team titles on TV every Monday nights. I think the women's tag team titles need to get burnt. Seriously. They are not legitimately important on this show. They should nowhere be, they shouldn't be nowhere near this show at all. I don't even know why these titles were even brought up to begin with in the first place. We don't have a women's tag team division. Why are the women's tag team titles still existing? Why? I don't understand this. What is the use of having these titles on both brands when they're not legitimately important? It legitimately makes no sense at all. It's almost like Vince and Bruce done fucking... It's almost like Vince and Bruce just doesn't care about the women's division. And I gotta tell you, man, oh my goodness, this was one of the worst 6 women tag team matches I've ever seen on the show. This was bad. This was one of the fucking worst. I mean, I know a lot of people had to pick up their remotes and change the channel, especially when they saw Nia Jax and Lacey Evans on their TV. Oh my goodness. And Charlotte Flair. And Dana Brooke. Seriously, folks, this was one of the worst 6 women's tag team matches I've ever seen on this show. I never thought it would get this bad. Never. I saw one of those Raw clips on YouTube, man, of this match, man. Oh my goodness. I knew something wasn't adding up about this show, man. Something told me, something embarrassing bad. I had a feeling either something bad and embarrassing is going to happen on this show, or there's going to be a shocking upset. None of those happened. Almost both of those things. Almost both of those things happened on this show. Almost. Almost, folks. Almost. Shayna Baszler looked like she was doing most of the work in the ring out of all these women. Believe it or not. So anyways, folks, the match begins with Mandy and Lacey. And they lock up. They battle for control, and Rose takes Evans down with a headlock and keeps her grounded until Lacey takes a head scissors. Rose breaks free and tags Dana, who hits a suplex for a 2 count. Charlotte and Basler gets tags, and Flair hits a kick followed by a fallaway slam. Mandy gets a tag, and she hits a boot to the face of Basler before tagging Dana. Brooke quickly tags Flair, and she gets tossed to the apron. Basler tries to shoulder her, but Charlotte dodges her and knocks her. Charlotte pulls Baszler to the floor and goes after her. Baszler gets the better of Flair and puts her back in the ring, but the referee counts Baszler out before she gets back in. It looked like a total mistake. So then, commercial break. We got Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose, Charlotte Flair again versus Lacey Evans, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler. They were back live, and the match was restarted during the break. Oh, one of the worst creative. This one right here was one of the worst creative decisions ever. Worst. To restart a match like this. Why was this match even booked? Why was this match even made official to begin with? They should have left this whole thing alone. Goes to show you how stupid WWE creative is. Goes to show you how terrible they creatively write these shows every week on a weekly basis, man. Oh my goodness. So, during the break by Adam Pearce, I knew it. I was fucking right. Oh my goodness. Wow, I'm such a fucking genius, man. I knew it. It's Adam Pearce behind the whole thing. Adam Pearce was the one that made this match official. I just said it right in the open. I was right. I knew it was Adam Pearce. It had to be. I knew it. So, they were back live. This match was restarted during the break by Adam Pearce because, as we knew, it was a botched finish. More like a terrible, complete garbage finish is what it was. Folks, that's exactly what it was. Lacey Evans is beating down Dana Brooke in the ring. Basler tags in and hits a snapmare and a knee to the back for a 2 count. Basler props Brooke's elbow on the mat and stamps on it. She basically stomps on it, in other words, before tagging Nia. Jax takes a sleeper hold, but Brooke quickly elbows her way out. Brooke attempts a sunset flip, but Nia sits down only for Brooke to roll out the way and tag Rose. Mandy comes in hot with clotheslines to the legal Lacey Evans, then runs her into the corner and unloads with rights and lefts. Rose hits a leaping knee for a near fall, but Basler broke the pinfall. Charlotte runs in and spears Basler, but Jax drops Flair. Jax drags Evans over and tags herself in. Meanwhile, Charlotte chases Evans around the rings after getting slapped. Dana Brooke avoids Nia in the corner and hits a rolling neck breaker for a near fall. Jax throws Dana across the ring, then lifts her up for a powerbomb chokeslam. Did a running leg drop for the win. Folks, this is your women's division right here, folks. Look on the screen. This is your women's division right here. And you wonder why the women's division is suffering like it is. Look at this. Look at all these women on the screen. Shayna Baszler should be in line to challenge Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. Why isn't she there? Because she's paired up with Nia Jax. WWE needs to get Shayna Baszler away from Nia Jax immediately, or her career is going to be ruined even more. Nia Jax is going to ruin Shayna Baszler even more if they don't get her away from her. Seriously. This is your women's division, folks. This Raw This is one of the worst women's divisions of 2021. Oh my goodness. Hell, this was one of the worst women's divisions last year. And the year before that. This was a bit of a cluster, and it's a classic Raw booking. I can understand that, with a brawl leading to a multi-person match. And then the tag match exclusively features the two original competitors and ends in a countout due to a possible error from Shayna. Really, folks? Listen, nobody benefited here and nothing was advanced. I feel sorry for, I don't know about the competitors, but I feel sorry for Shayna. Because this was an error, as Shayna was 50% in ring when the ref called for the bell and could have easily been continued without it looking scripted. I still want to know why the match was even booked to begin with. Why are you mixing these feuds up? Folks, this was absolutely not a great opening to Raw. The reset was a mistake, even though the match shouldn't have been booked. The second segment took half an hour. This should have been scrapped after the miscount, and then just addressed during a WWE backstage segment. This was not a good start to Raw. To a Raw Royal Rumble go-home show, this was not a good start. Period. Absolutely fucking terrible. Absolutely embarrassing. This was one of the worst embarrassing starts to Raw ever. Oh my goodness. Makes me want to fucking puke. Seriously. This shit sucks. This shit sucks, Bruce! Seriously. See? And then you wonder why Bruce needs to get fired from the WWE. Because of shit like this. This is what I'm talking about. Because of 50-50 garbage booking like this, man. Because of creative decisions like this. This match should have never even restarted. The match should have even never been booked. I can't believe I'm saying this the third time. It's the truth. The feud should have never been mixed up. Obviously, Bruce and Vince, they do this all the time. It never freaking fails, man. When it comes to these two, it never fails. Oh my goodness. I think what would have been a great start to Raw was the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre and not Goldberg. Not Goldberg and Drew McIntyre together, just Drew McIntyre. I think that would have been a better start to Monday Night Raw. Drew McIntyre cutting a good promo. That would have been a better start. Or Randy Orton and Alexa Bliss. Because Randy Orton and Alexa Bliss feud seems to be one of the best things, one of the only best things going for Monday Night Raw right now. In my full opinion, that's one of the best things going. Everything else on this show is just complete fucking garbage. Honestly, man, that entire women's segment from the original match to the 6 women tag to the finish was just it was not only embarrassing, folks, it was not only bad, it was not only terrible, it was also horrendous. The entire division feels lifeless, the entire division feels dead, and it feels like fucking BS. That did not do any favors heading to the Royal Rumble, folks. Seriously, it did not. Absolutely nauseating. Did not. Seriously. This may have been the worst fucking hour of Raw, man. Seriously. What am I going to do with myself? Seriously. What am I going to do? Why am I even here? So, we see a couple of videos of Retribution backstage and outside cutting promos about how Kofi Kingston stole Ali's spot that led to Kofi Mania. They made their way to the ring for a match after the break. So we got Xavier Woods versus SlapJack with Retribution. Bell rings and Woods drop kicks SlapJack into the buckles. Right away, Woods whips him hard. Yeah, he whips him hard. That's exactly what he did. He whips him hard into the opposite corner. Then hits a backdrop. Woods gets tossed to the apron, and SlapJack hits him with right hands. Then a bulldog from the apron to the ring. Tilt-a-whirl Russian leg sweep for a 2 count. Never heard of that move before. But it was effective. It was effective on Dominik Dijakovic. He attempts to roll up Woods, but he rolls through and hits a Shining Wizard for the win. And that was it. That was it, folks. Now, I hate to admit this. I know some people are going to be mad at me for saying this. I don't want anybody to be mad at me for saying this. But this feud with Woods and Retribution here lately has been pretty interesting. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's been pretty interesting. It's gotten interesting. I think Woods versus Retribution has been worth watching here lately. This feud has gotten a lot interesting, folks. The pre-match promo to this was incredible. It was incredible. And shows, it was incredible. Shows when not hindered with a nothing, no investment gimmick. All could be a main event star anywhere in the world. Folks, honestly, this is the third match we've seen this pairing, but I feel like it's leading to something, folks. I feel like it's leading to something similar to what I said about Xia Li and Boa. Remember that? Yeah. Remember when I did a video, Ingram Wrestling News video on what's going on with Xia Li and Boa? Similar, something similar to what I said about that. If WWE do a KOTR event with the right build, I think Woods versus Ali for the U.S. Championship could be great. And then Woods versus a heel Big E would make perfect sense for Clash of Champions. I could see that happening. I could see it happening. I could. But folks, this was totally fine and completely offensive viewing. It was great. It was an incredible match. Even though we've seen this about one or two times, still a great match. It's a great build for Xavier Woods. So there was So after all, there was a little bit of build on the show. They're building Xavier Woods up, seemed like. They're building him up for something, but I don't know what it is. Maybe he could be next in line to challenge Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. Who knows? We don't know yet. Or perhaps Kobe Kingston could be. Who knows? Kobe Kingston versus Bobby Lashley would be great. Even more so, Xavier Woods versus Bobby Lashley would be fine too. Or I could see Matt Riddle being United States Champion. We could see Matt Riddle versus Xavier Woods. Or Matt Riddle versus Kobe Kingston. Hadn't seen that. That would be something interesting. Wouldn't you all agree? Interesting match. Interesting matches, man. WWE, I'm telling you, they have a lot of ideas. They're just not using them. They're keeping them secret. They're not using them. They're really not. And you know we've been wanting to see Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar for some time. We ain't seen that yet either. But seriously, they're keeping these ideas secret, man. Typical Bruce and Vince thing. You know they don't care about the shows, the talents, or the pay-per-views. You know they don't care about what we want as fans. You know that. You already know. Not even gonna go there. It's not even worth going there right now, at this point. So, after Woods' win over SlapJack, Woods tries to hightail it after the bell, but gets dropped at ringside by T-Bar. They bring him back into the ring, and T-Bar and Mice hit a double choke slam. Ali grabs a chair and makes to hit Woods. He makes it to hit Woods, but stops and instead sits on the chair. Ali gets a mic and says Woods talks a lot about being king of the ring, but he looks like a peasant, I guess. And he looks a lot like a peasant. I was thinking peanut. I was thinking he was going to say he looks a lot like a peanut. That'd be hilarious, though, if he said that. As a real king, he's going to show mercy. He wants Woods to deliver a message to Kofi. He will be taking his place in the Royal Rumble. Ooh. So I'm guessing Ali will be... I guess Ali is one of the entries of the Royal Rumble now, I'm guessing. Because we know Sheamus and Morrison are. So Riddle is walking backstage, but R-Truth stops him. Truth tells Riddle about him getting a surprise party where he's getting 24 carats. Riddle loves it and tells Truth they're both winners because they're both Capricorns, unicorns. I call them unicorns, really. But then they both make goat noises. I don't know what the hell this was about, man. Anyways, commercial break. The Hurt Business are in the ring for a new episode of the VIP Lounge, right? MVP says he is excited. You're excited. Well, I wasn't excited when I saw the tweets from the IWC community. When I saw the tweets from that IWC community saying and stating how bad Monday Night Raw was, I was disappointed when I saw those tweets on Twitter. So you want to talk about exciting, let's talk about NXT. You want to talk about not exciting, Monday Night Raw. Not exciting. But anyways, seriously. MVP says he is excited for the Royal Rumble and the after party is going to be lit. It's going to be lit. Just like I'm with the sticks. And then I put them in a pit. But seriously, Lashley says they look good with all the gold. Not gonna lie, gotta admit they do. How about you all in the chat? Do you agree? They look good with the gold? Do you agree that the Hurt Business look good with the gold? The gold on their waist? I think they look alright with the gold on their waist. I mean, I can't complain. They said they're holding it, but the beauty of it is they've only just begun. Shelton says their individual accomplishments are Cedric Alexander interrupts him and says they owe everything to MVP. Lashley agrees and they hand MVP a black box as a gift. Inside, a shining gold necklace with diamonds that reads, "The Hurt Business." Oh man, this is funny. This is kind of funny though, seriously. MVP loves it and puts it on, saying he's at a loss. I'm just joking. He's at a loss for words. Alexander says he's happy because he worked with the designer. But Shelton cuts him off and says he worked. He says he worked with the designer, but Shelton cuts him off, says he worked with the designer. R-Truth comes out and stands on the ramp, saying he knows it's weird that he's late for his own party. MVP says he wasn't invited. Truth says he heard them say they were planning a party for his birthday last week. Just like I was planning a party for my birthday yesterday. I wish I did have one, but I didn't. I already told you what I did for my birthday yesterday, folks. I already told you what happened for mine. And it was good. 12 months of PlayStation Plus was enough for me to be happy. Now, Truth says he heard them. They said they were planning a party for his birthday last week, but they say he's wrong. Truth says that necklace was supposed to mean Truth, happy birthday, and asks where the 24 gold carats are. Now Lashley tells Truth he's sorry and he didn't get him a gift. He just has to get into the ring to get it. Before Truth gets into the ring, jobbers run down and try to steal Truth's 24/7 championship. Lastly, Cedric and MVP leave the ring to fight with the jobbers. Riddle slides into the ring from behind MVP and drops him with a final flash knee. Then hightails it over the barricade. Later that night, Matt Riddle would face the Hurt Business in a gauntlet match to try and get a shot at Lashley's United States Championship. So with the commercial break, R-Truth is backstage with Adam Pearce, unofficial GM of Raw and Smackdown. Adam Pearce asking if he can join the upcoming Money in the Bank ladder match. But Pearce looks confused. AJ Styles and a Moose walk up and argue with them, and Pierce storms off, leaving Truth to joke about their star sights or star signs. We see a replay of earlier tonight when Goldberg and McIntyre attacked Miz and Morrison. Folks, bear with me. I'm kind of sleepy now, so bear with me. I may get some stuff wrong, but at least I'm trying. Alright? Gotta give me some sort of credit. Give me some sort of credit here. We didn't see a promo video for their match at the Royal Rumble, which takes place this Sunday. Sheamus comes out for a match against John Morrison after the break. And it is 1:25 here in the morning, so just throwing it out there. So we got Sheamus versus John Morrison with Miz. Oh man, is it me or does this feel like this was the same match we seen, except for Drew McIntyre win against these two? Now it seems like they're putting Sheamus in the same situation. Remember, they booked Drew McIntyre in a handicap match. It was Drew McIntyre versus Miz with Morrison. Then it was Drew McIntyre versus Morrison with Miz. And then it was Drew McIntyre versus Miz and Morrison. Remember that? Jesus Christ, they're doing the same thing with Sheamus. I feel so bad for Sheamus, dude. Really. They have underused him, man. I mean, this guy should be a champion right now. I mean, what are they doing with this guy? I don't understand what WWE's doing with Sheamus. And I tell you one thing, WWE needs to get John Morrison the hell away from Miz, man. I'm telling you right now. Morrison needs to go back to being a singles competitor. Him and Miz as a team just doesn't add up. It just doesn't fit. Him and The Miz as a team is fucking terrible. I think The Miz and John Morrison are better off singles competitors at this point. Miz is better off away from John Morrison. So, anyways, the bell rings, and Sheamus forces Morrison to the ropes until the referee calls for a break. Morrison ducks the lockup and takes the back. Morrison tries to ground Sheamus, but the Irishman climbs to his feet and hits the ropes. So once he hits the ropes, Morrison scores a roll-up, but Sheamus knocks out and attempts one of his own to no avail. Morrison elbows Sheamus in the corner, then delivers a barrage of forearms and kicks. Sheamus counters an Irish whip, but gets kicked in the face. Sheamus catches Morrison with a back body drop and kicks him in the back a few times. Sheamus hits an Irish curse backbreaker and goes up top, but Morrison catches him with a dropkick to the knee. Morrison knocks Sheamus against the ropes, then clobbers him with a running knee, and Sheamus falls to the floor. Morrison goes after Sheamus and knocks him on the floor. Then gets him back in the ring. John hits a dragon screw to the leg, then wraps it around his own knee and twists it. Sheamus delivers repeated calves to the face. I'm guessing calf kicks or calf crusher, I don't know. Calves to the face of Morrison to break free, but damage is done. Sheamus hits a running axe handle, then a clothesline in the corner and tosses him across the ring. Morrison hits a chop block, but Sheamus comes back with a backbreaker. Morrison rolls outside and tries to cheat, but Sheamus stops him and hits White Nose for the win. Yes, folks, Sheamus is not a heel anymore. He's a face. So we go to commercial break, and then we got 2-on-1 handicap match. So they made this match official. Challenge is accepted. I'm gonna look at your replies in a minute, man. So we got the 2-on-1 handicap match. We got Miz and John Morrison versus Sheamus. It's a tornado handicap match, and both heels jump on Sheamus. I don't even know why they booked this. I don't even know why this should have been a handicap match in the first place. Why was Sheamus versus Morrison booked? Why was the singles match booked? They should have just went with a handicap match instead of a single match. See, this booking shit, this 50-50 booking just does not make sense. This doesn't make sense to me at all. This makes sense to nobody in the community. This is similar to what they did with Drew McIntyre. I keep saying that because it's the truth. Jesus Christ. This shit sucks. Really. So, Sheamus knocks Morrison out the ring, but Miz kicks his knee and takes him down for a 2 count. Morrison comes back in and hits a standing shooting star press for a 2 count. They continue to beat on Sheamus, but he starts firing back with clubs to the gut, only for Morrison to kick him. Sheamus is clotheslined over the ropes, and John hits a spinning Toby into Sheamus. They toss Sheamus into the steps and barricade, then back into the ring. The assault continues, but Sheamus starts coming back and tosses Morrison up and over the ropes to the floor. Sheamus hits Miz with the 10 beats of the Baszler before Morrison cuts him off. Morrison then gets caught in some vicious 10 beats of the Baszler. Sheamus goes to the top rope and takes out Morrison and Miz with a diving clothesline on the floor. Sheamus gets Morrison back in the ring and signals for the end. Morrison grabs the leg. Sheamus fights back and hits Morrison with a Brogue kick. Morrison then grabs Sheamus and hits the skull crushing finale for the win. Now, not only was this similar to Drew McIntyre, they did this. They literally did the exact same thing with this 6 women's tag team match, except for it was differently. Oh my goodness, that's how you know this show is fucking terrible. Oh my god, WWE just doesn't know how to book anything nowadays, man. Oh my god, this shit really sucks, man. I hate to even be laughing at this. It's fucking hilarious. Really. It is absolutely hilarious. It is absolutely embarrassing. The definition of complete garbage. Oh, man. And then, not to mention, even worse, we got Ric Flair helping Lacey Evans practice wrestling moves in the locker room when Charlotte Flair walks in. Oh, great, the android again on our TV. Oh, man. That's enough. That's enough for the ratings to drop even lower. Especially when you got Miz TV and dirt sheets every week. And Now when you got superstars like Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce, ratings get even more lower. Anyways, Evans runs off, and Rick says just because Charlotte is a big star doesn't mean there's not a place for him in the dressing room. He's got to be himself. Charlotte says he has to be the guy that spends all his money on everyone. But his family? This isn't cute. Rick is going from legend to old man. She has no problem saying that to his face. She's not the bad guy. Or should we say she's not the bad woman? I don't know. Rick angrily stares back at her. Charlotte backs up, and Evans punches her from behind. Rick goes to check on her, but Evans pulls him away and then leave. I don't know what this is leading to, but whatever they are doing, man, they need to just fucking scrap this feud, man. Seriously. Because this is not going anywhere. Nobody is even interested. Nobody was interested, period. I just don't understand why. Whoever came up with this Lacey Evans and Charlotte Flair feud, you gotta be the most dumbest idiot on earth, man. Seriously. Absolutely terrible. And here's my comments in reaction to the Sheamus versus John Morrison and Miz match. I mean, to some people, this would have been nice. This would have been a nice, simple match with a good win for Sheamus, but due to the COVID complications and required isolation, Raw needed to fill more time. Completely understandable. Therefore, needing a fourth rematch already tonight. Sheamus is a future Hall of Famer and is fantastic in the ring always, but this was just a bit unnecessary, folks. Shouldn't Sheamus be feuding with Keith Lee? Shouldn't he be a heel feuding with Keith Lee? I mean, what happened with that feud? Whatever happened with that? Oh! Speaking of limited, Keith Lee was not on Raw last night. Where is Keith Lee? He's nowhere to be seen. Oh my goodness. Please tell me Vince McMahon has not lost interest in Keith Lee. Please tell me he's lost interest in Keith Lee, man. Something tells me he's lost complete interest in this guy. Just like he did with Aleister Black. Just like he did with Andrade. Just like he did with Humberto! With him. Oh! Humberto with an H. You know, the Loser, the loser. You know, it's not just Andrade and Aleister Black that's being kept off TV. It's Humberto, too. Now, it went from those guys to Keith Lee being kept off TV. Oh, my God. Please tell me they're going with the fact that they don't... please don't tell me the WWE is going with the fact that they don't have any plans for Keith Lee once again. Could Keith Lee be the new member of the Hurt Business? I just thought of that. Cedric Alexander is leaving the Hurt Business. They're breaking Cedric Alexander up with the Hurt Business. So could he be? So could Keith Lee be the new member of the Hurt Business? We don't know. We don't know. We know he's being kept on TV for some reason. He probably tested positive for the coronavirus, knowing him. I hope not. I sure hope not, though. So anyways, I'm moving on. So we got AJ Styles with Omos versus R-Truth. Now, I want to know what y'all's thoughts and comments on this, because honestly, I have no comments. I have no comments or reactions to this at all. The best way to describe this match was boring. Absolutely boring. This match between AJ Styles and R-Truth was completely boring. The 24/7 title doesn't even matter on this show. It shouldn't be important. Not even the women's tag team title shouldn't be important. Those titles, both those titles, should be burnt to the ground. The 24/7 title is not a ratings draw. Women's tag team titles are not a ratings draw. Goldberg's not a ratings draw. Almost the entire roster, almost the entire Raw roster is not a ratings draw. That's how bad the rosters look. Nobody on the Raw roster seems to be a ratings draw for Monday Night Raw, and it's bad. It's really bad. If these shows were right, maybe the ratings would be up. I tell you one thing, if Bruce was fired and Vince was removed from WWE, I think the ratings would do a lot better without them. No offense. No offense. Just throwing it out there. This product is dying and needs help. Seriously. So we got AJ Styles attacking R-Truth, but R-Truth manages to send him over the top rope. And we're told Truth is practicing for the Rumble. Yeah, practicing for the Rumble on a Royal Rumble Monday Night Raw go-home show. Oh, man. How can it get any more worse than this, man? Bruce has got to be sucking Vince's cock. He's definitely got to be. I mean, this shit's fucking embarrassing. Holds Truth onto the bottom rope, where Truth is intimidated by a moose. Boyhood hero John Cena. R-Truth follows up with the 5-knuckle shuffle. The 5-knuckle shuffle, more like I want to shuffle this fucking garbage episode, 3-hour waste of Monday Night Raw. I want to knuckle shuffle that. He follows it up with a 5-knuckle shuffle for a near fall. Styles quickly taps him out with the calf crusher and wins. So we got Riddle versus the Hurt Business and Alexa versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. That's what we got last night as well. So we seen a replay of Randy Orton's mask promo from last week. Alexa Bliss is in the playground swinging, and she wants to talk about Asuka. So last week, Asuka confronted her and made the mistake of mentioning his name. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It was a bad idea for you to mention Randy Orton's name. We see footage of her beating Asuka last week. That was one of the worst upsets of Asuka's career, losing to Alexa Bliss on TV. Oh my god, that really sucked. It even says it on my thumbnail. This sucks. On my Raw thumbnail from last Monday. If you check out last week's Monday Night Raw review, you'll see what I mean. What was I going to say, folks? Yeah, she beat Asuka last week. Asuka says he taught her that move. He taught her that move, apparently. She talks to an imaginary friend on the swing beside her. Then says tonight she has the chance to win a new toy. And just like last week, she didn't feel like playing nice. Alexa sings Ring Around the Roses, then says, Let me in Wyatt's voice. So Riddle made his way to the ring for his gauntlet match, which could earn him a title shot against Bobby Lashley, which I hate to spoiler you, which did earn him a title shot. He defeated both Shelton and Cedric Alexander. I wanted to spoiler you all early, so you'll know. Just to those of you who did not watch Monday Night Raw. That's why I go live for my Monday Night Raw, NXT, and Smackdown reviews for a reason. I do it for those of you that missed it. I do it for all my Ingram Wrestling News fans, subscribers, moderators, and, viewers. Anyhow, I really don't know what to say about this Riddle versus Shelton Benjamin. I mean, this show is just so boring. I don't even know what I want to say about any of these matches. Better yet, nonetheless, this show. I mean, Matt Riddle versus Shelton Benjamin? Really? I gotta say no to that. So, we got that match. The bell rings and Riddle looks for the final flash knee right away, but Benjamin dodges it. Riddle backs him into the corner, but Benjamin breaks free. Benjamin attempts a German suplex, but Riddle lands on his feet and kicks him. Benjamin then blocks a kick and hits a spine buster for a 2 count. Benjamin lays Riddle across the top rope and knees him. Benjamin hits a scope slam for a 2 count. Riddle fights up from a headlock and delivers forearms to the jaw, but Benjamin catches him with a kitchen sink for a 2 count. Shelton continues the assault and hits a running knee of his own, but Riddle kicks out at 1. Benjamin grabs Riddle, but the MMA star takes a Gallaton. Shelton slowly gets to his feet and turns it into a suplex attempt, only for Riddle to knee him. Cedric causes a distraction, preventing the referee from counting the pin for Benjamin. Benjamin is angry at Cedric, and MVP berates him. Meanwhile, Matt Riddle rolls Shelton up for the pinfall. Shelton, Benjamin eliminated. So then we got Matt Riddle versus MVP. The bell rings and Matt Riddle grabs a distracted MVP in a rolling heel hook, and he taps right away. So MVP was eliminated. And then we got Riddle versus Cedric Alexander. So the final the gauntlet match was underway when they returned from the break. And Riddle drills Cedric with forearms, but Alexander catches him with a kitchen sink and a gutbuster for a 2 count. Cedric holds the bro down with an arm submission, but Riddle easily gets up and forces Cedric to the corner. So then Riddle hits the ropes, but gets caught with a huge leaping kick for another 2 count. Cedric gets cocky and MVP tells him to focus, so he applies an out of middle stretch. Riddle gets to the ropes, but Cedric chokes him against them. Riddle elbows free from a bear hug and lifts Cedric, but gets caught with a DDT for a near fall. Riddle blocks a kick and hits one of his own, then kips up and hits a forearm in the corner. Riddle with an exploder suplex, but misses a PK and attempts a Roton, but Cedric gets the knee up. Alexander catches Riddle with a brainbuster for a near fall. MVP berates Cedric for not finishing the move, or actually not finishing the match. I don't think he finished the move either, though, to be honest. Alexander heads up top and jumps at Riddle, but nobody's home. Riddle hits a flying triangle, but Cedric lifts him up and slams him. Riddle goes right back to it, and they exchange pin attempts until Riddle scores the 1, 2, 3. Bobby Lashley runs down and attacks Riddle on the ramp after the match. Lashley applies the Hurt Lock and tortures Riddle for upwards of 30 seconds before throwing him into the barricade. MVP taunts Riddle and they leave him laying. All I got to say is, folks, Matt Riddle versus the United States Champion Bobby Lashley is official for the Royal Rumble. Yes, it will be at the Royal Rumble. It is not going to be on next week's Raw. The title has to be defended at Royal Rumble, and I think it should be defended there. Because Matt Riddle and Bobby Lashley hasn't even entered the Royal Rumble. They're supposed to have their Bobby Lashley's supposed to defend his United States Champion against Matt Riddle at the Royal Rumble, so I'm guessing that's official now that he's won. I can't even talk. I'm getting sleepy. So, an injury update on Edge's health. We got that. So, it went to commercial. Back live. The rated R superstar Edge is sitting in a dark WWE. He says 2020 has taught us that nobody can sleep on tomorrow. If you have a dream to forfeit the title, give up his career, the only thing he ever wanted to do, Edge laughs and says he remembers when he told his wife, Beth Phoenix, she's the commentary for NXT, he wanted to be a wrestler, and she said, so go do it. Simple words, but the words that lit the fuel in him, the same fuel he used to get back. Then at Backlash, Randy Orton tore his tricep. Another reminder that it can be taken away in an instant, but you can't live in that mindset. You have to fight. He knows what his mom would say. Just go do it. So with that in mind, Edge is entering this year's Royal Rumble. Now that's shocking. That's major right there. That's obviously major news that Edge is entering the Royal Rumble. So he knows it wouldn't be like last year. The stakes are higher. His window is getting smaller, and he needs to win the Royal Rumble, main event WrestleMania, and take back what he never lost. So on Sunday, he will fight with every fiber of his being to make his dream come true. Again, he has to try because a world without dreamers, a world without dreamers and fighters is less magical place. As Henry Ford said, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Well, Edge thinks he can. So Asuka's walking backstage with her two belts. She would be defending them against Alexa Bliss in main event. So we had a commercial break. And then we got Asuka versus Alexa Bliss, the main event of Monday Night Raw for the Raw Women's Championship. Y'all definitely got to give me y'all's thoughts and comments on this. Got Alexa Bliss versus Asuka. So the main event gets underway, and Asuka starts out aggressive, taking the fight to Bliss and forcing her to the corner. Asuka takes her down and applies an arm block, but Alexa smiles. Asuka kicks the arm and applies more pressure, but Bliss continues to grin and fights back. Asuka hits Alexa in the corner. Asuka takes her down, applies an arm lock, but Alexa smiles. Alexa kicks the arm and applies more pressure, but Bliss continues to grind and fights back. Asuka hits Alexa in the corner, but Bliss drop kicks her out of the ring. Asuka stands up. That's how you know I'm sleepy. I'm getting my stuff wrong a little bit. And suddenly, Alexa is on a rocking horse with creepy music playing. Commercial break. Back live. And Asuka is peppering Alexa with kicks in the corner. The referee forces her back, but Asuka attempts an Irish whip, but it's reversed. Bliss dodges a drop kick and jumps on Asuka with double knees. Then again for a 2 count. Alexa kicks Asuka in the corner, then hits a snapmare and holds Asuka down with a rear chin lock. Asuka looks playfully frustrated when Asuka kicks out of a pin attempt. Alexa goes to a sleeper and smiles ear to ear. Asuka fights up and elbows Alexa off. Then hits a super kick to create some distance. Asuka dodges a running Bliss and hits a shoulder tackle. Then they pop up knee. Asuka follows up with a hip attack in the corner, then a German suplex and a sliding knee for a near fall. Asuka beats Alexa in the corner. With the lights flickering, Alexa's old music plays. Suddenly, Alexa's in her old gear and looks terrified, like she doesn't know what's going on. Alexa looks all around, almost crying. Asuka runs at her, but Alexa sidesteps, and Asuka hits the buckles. Alexa walks over to the corner and grabs the ropes, but the lights go out again, and a lullaby plays. And when the lights return, Alexa is in a different outfit with black makeup, kinda punk. Asuka runs and swings punches and kicks, but Alexa pushes them away. Asuka hits a knee, and Bliss doesn't fall. Asuka grabs her and the Asuka lock, but Bliss overpowers her and applies the Minimum Claw. Suddenly a burnt Randy Orton appears behind Alexa and hits her with an RKO. And that was the show. Folks, this show sucked. This show was fucking boring. So boring that I didn't even want to review Monday Night Raw. I really didn't. But I did it for you all that missed it. So, thank you all for tuning in for my Monday Night Raw review. This is the end of your January the 25th, 2021 Raw review. If you enjoyed this review, hit that thumbs up. Please, it helps the channel, it helps the video, and it helps the live stream. Thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Even though I got some stuff wrong on my review, I really appreciate y'all for being here, seriously. Let's look at the chat here. We got challenges accepted. Challenges accepted. Keep up the good work. I love these reviews. Challenges accepted. I really appreciate it, brother. I really appreciate it, bro. Thank you for your kind words. You know, nobody has ever said that to me in the chat. Nobody. Like, I mean, literally nobody has ever said those kind words like that to me in the chat. I really appreciate it, man. I will definitely try to keep up the work. Like I said, I always go live with my NXT, Raw, and Smackdown reviews every week for people who miss those shows. My NXT review will be live this Wednesday night. I think either NXT should go on Tuesdays or Thursdays. I think it should go on Thursdays, though, honestly, so I won't have to review NXT on a Wednesday afternoon, because it feels strange reviewing NXT on a Wednesday afternoon for some reason. I don't know why. It just kind of does. Yeah, no problem. Challenge accepted. I saw the part you said. I appreciate your reviews. No problem, man. I try. WWE definitely turned into how boxing is now. It really has. These shows have been absolutely terrible, all because of Bruce and Vince. I'm sure you know that. Everybody in the IWC community knows. We know why these shows are terrible every week. Alright, thank y'all for tuning in for the review. I'm getting out of here, man. I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm glad that I'm actually done. Thank God I'm actually done. Hit my outro music, folks. Oh no, not that outro music. That's the wrong one. Oh man, I need to get the fuck off of here, man. I'm getting sleepy. For real. I really need to get in the bed. Oh my goodness. Hit my outro music, folks. Alright. I'm officially getting the heck out of here. I hope I made this review make sense, man. I know I kind of talked in my sleep a little bit. I felt like I kind of did, but I did okay on this review. I'm not going to say I did good or great, because I didn't. I'm not going to lie. I did okay. But I just wanted to go live my review, you know, for people who missed Raw. Now you know what happened on Raw. This shit sucks. Alright. These Raw shows need to get better, man. If Vince and Bruce wants to keep their jobs, they need to change their attitude. They need to change the way they book these shows. They need to change the way they're creatively writing these shows. If they want to keep their jobs, man, they need to do better. Folks, Vince's brother just passed away yesterday. I don't know if y'all know that. He passed away yesterday. Vince's brother did. But that doesn't got nothing to do with how terrible these shows are. These shows need to be better. They need to get better. If they don't get better, then you're never going to have better ratings. You're going to instead have lower ratings. You're going to keep having lower ratings because you're booking the same matches 2 times. See, that's what they call 50-50 booking. Booking matches 2 times on the show. This show was not creatively written correctly. It wasn't written right. I'm getting out of here. That's all I got to say. I got nothing else to say, man. You all have a good day. I appreciate you all wishing me happy birthday. I wish y'all many, many good days. And hopefully this pandemic will end for good, for sure. Just be patient, man. I'm trying to be patient. I feel like I'm running out of patience on this pandemic. I really am. If anything, I'm ready to leave this darn sorry country known as the U.S. because there are too many negative people that live here. Just saying, I'm ready to leave the U.S. to live in Colombia. I always wanted to live there. I always wanted to live in Colombia. That was my dream. I always wanted to be there. I always wanted to live there. It's the only country I want to live in anyway. I would rather be there than to be here in the U.S. But I'm getting out of here. Have y'all selves a good day. And I will see you back here on my NXT review this Wednesday night. Peace.